Welcome to another episode. This time I'll be discussing on the Linux directory structure. So generally if you look at the Linux directory structure, there is a root directory. Underneath the root directory it is something like it is called an upside down tree, because root is at the top and then down comes all the branches. So that's where it's called the upside down tree, and each of the directory have specific purposes with them. And yes, generally Linux Unix is commonly used as a server because it has a robust security system. So generally it is a preferred server operating system, Unix. So in that way, all the directories, one will not be allowed to access all the directories. Whichever is required for a specific developer or a programmer, only those will be available to access. Ideally, yes, something like a home directory is what is a developer could access, maybe a few other directory depending on what is the programming is going to do or what is that is going to work on. And it is for the system administrator to look out for the who has the access to the rest of the directories, like different directories like binaries, executable, bin. We'll see that what is the different directory is all about quickly. So generally, as a developer is what is the home directory. Underneath the home you'll have different user directories based on the users requirement. You have under home, you have those directories. So if you look at it, bin, essential commands, boot is for the bootloader file. So there is file called grub. So that is the first one. When the Linux is booted up, grub takes over, and then once the booting process is over, it passes on to the kernel directory. So that is how it is. Dev for devices, device files, etc. A system configuration, user home directory. Underneath is what each of the users will have, and that is what is going they have access to. Libraries, root, proc is for the process, various process which is done, media, mount point. Then you have opt, other application, bin, data for services, temporary file, multi-user utilities application, variable files. This will provide you much clearer explanation about various directories and what it does. Let me a little bit zoom in. So yeah, so bin is for the command line commands, like that is where it refers to all the change directory. CP is for the copying, that is a copy command. LS for listing directories. So bin, that is where all the command user binaries are. Then there are root binaries, library essential, which needs to work with the bin. So library, all the library essentials are stored here. So this is essential program, and some of them could be non-essential, though it is called as non-essential, but still from a system working requirement perspective, it is all required. Suppose if you create an user, yes, it is going to go into the etc password file, psswd under etc folder, and similarly if you create a group under etc group, it will be there, and so on and so forth. So though it is called non-essential, but still it might be required. And then comes the boot directory. I told for booting, first one to take over Linux is with the boot directory, and you have grep files, and then you have the dev files. User directory is what under home, you have the various users. When you create the user, you have under this directory a folder will also get created with the home username. Then you have the root directory and kernel file system, that is proc. Then you have syst runtime information, process information. So those are the file, and this is for the mount point. So mount points, media, MNT and temp. So then you have non-essential etc opt users, and then you have bin sbin library. So that is how it is. I mean, this is a quick description about the file structure. Even in a command line, you can view them. So I'll quickly show how you can view them in the command line. So I'm in the my home directory user. OPC is the user with which I have logged in. I think there is should be one more user in this. Yeah, few more are there. Student 1, student 5. These are different user. So if I do a home, I mean it goes into my my home directory, which is home OPC. And if you can get into the root directory, this is root directory. So if I do ls -l, all this is a root directory under with binary boot dev etc home library media mnt. So this is the when you do an installation, these are the file structure which gets created, and boot is what when you want to boot the Linux server, the boot directory files inside the boot directory will take over. And then there is a command called, quite an useful command to study the root structure. It is called the tree. What I will do is I'll do home, go to home, chain directory, home. Yeah, then if you do a tree, it gives the tree structure, which is the directory, under which directory what are the various files. So these are the, at what level are the files. So it gives that it's a tree structure. Basically the top is the root, so where from the top it gets branches. So now this is in the, from the directory called home OPC. Under that you are constructing the tree with the tree command when you issue the tree command. The other option is, if you want to, you can also do it from the root also. So chain directory, I'm getting into root. I think I need to have command, so sudo bash, then do a tree. It can give you the entire structure. So if you want to, for analysis, yeah, because the entire system, it is taking time. Otherwise you can get into a specific directory and then do a tree. Thereby, if you want to know more details about any of the files inside that, get into that directory and then do a tree. So the tree command is quite useful to understand the directory structure in Linux. Otherwise, I hope by this presentation you had a fair idea as how the directory structure in Linux is and what are the directories and its uses. Thank you for watching the presentation, and do subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Have a good day.